Tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, a San Diego congresswoman has a proposal to end the debate over redeveloping the Navy's headquarters on the San Diego waterfront. And the Sheriff's Department has a new tool to fight crime near casinos in the backcountry.
At the roundtable, we'll take a look at campaign ads. Do they pass the truth test? Some surprising results.
KPBS Evening Edition starts now. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dwayne Brown. A San Diego congresswoman has proposed a solution to a long-running controversy over a prime piece of downtown real estate. Susan Davis is working on a bill to offer the Navy an alternative for its new headquarters. KPBS reporter Allison St. John spoke to Davis about it earlier today, and Allison joins us from the News Center now. The Navy Broadway project, Allison, has been on hold, we know, for years. How does Davis see her bill helping?
Well, I think Susan Davis would like to help find a win-win situation for both the Navy and the critics of the project. A lot of people are concerned about having a large military headquarters in the middle of downtown. There's been talk about earthquake faults and talk about possible terrorist attacks, talk about too many high-rises. And I think that one of the things she's thinking is that giving the Navy an option to put their headquarters on a base might help. And here is what she said.
It's a very large building that we're talking about that has to be up-armored, essentially. A lot of money being put into the building to secure it in that location. In most situations where we have that kind of a facility, it's usually on a base, so it is more secure, and it's not really juxtapose the hotels and tourism industry that San Diego builds upon. I mean, we're a big tourism community, and I think that that land is really precious. But at the same time, I'd love to see a Navy presence there. I just think it can be a different kind of presence.
So I think that Congresswoman Davis is thinking that perhaps the Navy could have a presence downtown, but it wouldn't have to be their headquarters, something that was a bit more appropriate for a business district and a high tourism area.
And Allison, has her bill passed yet?
No, this is part of the Military Authorization Act, and it has passed the House, but it has not yet passed the Senate.
KPBS reporter Allison St. John. For the first time in a long time, San Diegans were able to go into a city library on a Monday. The hours were expanded because of a surplus in the city budget. Public libraries haven't had Monday hours in about 5 years. Library hours are set to expand even more when the new fiscal year begins July 1st. San Diego Sheriff's Department is expanding its crime-fighting technology around some North County casinos. It rolled out a new patrol car today designed to track and recover stolen vehicles more quickly. Don't be surprised to see a new shiny black sheriff's vehicle on your next trip to a casino in the Valley Center area. It's equipped with an automatic license plate reader. Lieutenant Michael McLean calls it a force multiplier.
It can run multiple plates at a given time, whereas in times gone by, deputies would have to manually run those plates over a dispatch radio.
The car uses cameras to scan the roadways and parking lots for wanted and stolen vehicles day or night. If a license plate matches an entry for a certain crime, wanted felon, or missing person, the system will alert the deputy automatically.
It gives us the opportunity to use additional eyes to see what can be found out there as far as criminal behavior or wanted persons.
The $78,600 vehicle was paid for by Barona and Sequan Indian casinos. With limited sheriff staffing in Valley Center, this car will be used to cover more than 300 square miles of backcountry and help officers avoid the multiple distractions they face while on patrol.
When a deputy's working, he's, has to talk on the radio to dispatch, and he's also being proactive, looking for other criminal elements in the neighborhood. So it's just one less thing a deputy has to worry about, and it helps the community out that way in taking stolen vehicles off the streets.
This crime-fighting technology is already being used by the Sheriff's Department in Vista, San Marcos, and parts of the East County. The county's registrar of voters says there are more Democrats than Republicans registered for Tuesday's primary. It's just a tiny lead percentage-wise, only 0.1%, but in terms of actual votes, it's more than 1,700 votes. Nearly 25% of those registered with no party preference. The registrar says about 70% of the county's eligible voters are registered. Well, the race for school board is nonpartisan. Tonight, we look at candidates vying for the District E seat. Joanne Farian has the story at the roundtable.
District E includes neighborhoods in southeastern San Diego and is currently represented on the board by trustee Sheila Jackson, who is stepping down. Two candidates are running for the open seat, retired university administrator William Ponder and community college instructor and administrator Marnie Foster. Marnie Foster could not be with us today because of a teaching commitment. And William, let's begin now with why you are running for this position.
Well, I was born and raised here. I'm a product of the San Diego Unified School District. Graduated from Lincoln High School and spent the last 30 years in public education, in both here in California and in the state of Washington. My experience goes from K-12. I actually was a teacher in the San Diego Unified School District. Worked in the community colleges, worked at the University of California, the Riverside campus, for almost a decade. And then left here and spent almost 15 years up in the state of Washington and retired as a university vice president there.
So you could be relaxing on the golf course. You've retired, but instead you want to step in. Now, this is San Diego's largest school district with a big financial mess on its hands. Exactly. Why tackle this?
Well, I think that it's important that those of us who've had the opportunities to do well and to know how to, I think, approach these kind of problems and deal with these kind of problems for us to do it. I mean, I have the time. I'm retired.
So what do you think you could do to fix this big financial problem? I mean, there's a giant debt.
There is a giant deficit, and $122 million. Some of that money is money tied up in concessions, and so I think as a board member, I would work with the other board members to look at dealing with the concessions and providing, I think, some alternatives in terms of what we should do in terms of that.
You're talking about concessions with the union?
With the teachers' union. I think we need to create new revenue. So there's some possibilities of creating some new revenue for the district, and so I think that would be another approach. The other issue is this. There are folks on the sidelines, corporations and companies and foundations and others, who have helped the district over the years. And I think if they see that board members are taking a much more responsible fiduciary responsibility in terms of solving these problems, I think we could get some support there. And I think a number of other people will be willing to step in and help us to figure out how to solve this problem. The other side of this is this. In June of 2013, the current contract is up. The current union collective bargaining contract is up. And so the new board is going to have an opportunity there, I think, to also look at the financial realities of what's going on and make some probably different choices and decisions about what we need to do. Because we have to balance the budget. I mean, a district can't function and provide the kind of level of educational services running these kind of deficits. The current reserve for the San Diego Unified School District is 9%. It should be 15%. And by stabilizing the reserves and stabilizing the budget, then I think we can provide the kind of educational outcomes that are necessary for all children in the district.
We're going to have to end it there, but I do want to direct people to our website, kpbs.org. I know that you had a longer conversation earlier today with Maureen Cavanaugh, and they can hear that entire conversation. Also, voters should know that in District E, tomorrow they could either vote for you or for Marnie Foster, but then you also go to the general election in November as well. So another kick at the can down the road. Thank you so much, William Ponder, for being here.
Thank you.
Now, you can find all our campaign coverage and online voter guide on our website, kpbs.org/election. It's also where you'll find election night results as they're released by the registrar tomorrow night. Our website is just part of our election 2012 coverage. Beginning at 8 Tuesday night, KPBS Television and Radio 89.5 FM will bring you early election returns, followed by more results and analysis starting at 9 and throughout Tuesday evening. Get election results through the night on KPBS TV, radio, and online at kpbs.org. Now, if you don't know where you're supposed to vote tomorrow, the Registrar of Voters has some online help. The web address is sdvote.com. You can enter your street address and find exactly where to go to cast your ballot. Earlier this year, we told you about a conference to restore civility and civic dialogue at the University of San Diego. The result is the Campaign Civility Project. It's designed to rate political ads on accuracy and fairness. Joanne and her guests are checking out some of those ads at the roundtable.
Political ads make a lot of claims about candidates running for election, but are they true? A group of San Diegans got together to grade the ads on their truthfulness, relevance, and fairness. Take a look at this ad that got an F from the group.
The extremists at the San Diego Republican Party and their software pirating chairman have endorsed the candidate that most represents their corrupt, dirty, win-at-all-cost politics. But be warned, Carl DeMaio is dangerous for San Diego. Carl DeMaio has shown himself to be a serial liar by repeatedly misrepresenting his record.
Political scientist Carl Luna is with the Campaign Civility Project. He joins me now. Carl, thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
I want to talk about why that ad got an F, but first of all, tell me who was on this ad review panel.
Well, back in April, we pulled together a conference on civility and politics that involved University of San Diego Community College District, Catfish Club of San Diego, and this is an offshoot of that, a way to kind of keep the idea of civility in the public mind. We brought together a panel that included former State Senator Steve Peace, former Assemblyman Jeff Marston, political reporter retired John Beatty, and myself. So we had politicians from left and right. We had journalist, academic. We developed a rubric for evaluating ads based on what we call the Shepard's Rule. Tom Shepard, political consultant, was at our conference, and he said before putting an ad out, I look at to see if it's truthful, fair, and relevant. So we operationalized that. We gave point scores for each of those categories, put it on an A to F scale, and we sit around, we look at an ad, we come up with our ratings, we compare them, we average them out, and we get a score. Sometimes we're surprised by it.
Let's talk about this ad that we just saw that got an F. Why an F?
Well, across the board, it had problems. Its truthfulness. It said things which are not easily verifiable by an average voter. A few of the claims were outright wrong, so that got an F for truthfulness. Its fairness, the way the whole ad was structured, it was looking at emotion. It was using loaded language, which you could not really fairly evaluate. And its relevance, a lot of the things it put into the ad had nothing to do with Carl DeMaio. So it did not give voters a reasonable grounds on which to evaluate. It was a very negative, and it was also unattributed. It was hard to track down who was behind the ad. And transparency is important in these things.
Let's compare now with an ad that got an A from your group and then talk about the difference. So let's have a look at this. Another ad, this one that got an A.
We experienced every parent's worst nightmare. When we sought to protect other children, we were told it would be impossible to get done in Sacramento.
Too partisan, too many games.
But Nathan Fletcher worked nonstop to get Chelsea's law passed. He built coalitions, he brought people together, he got it done.
He didn't seek credit, he did the right thing.
Imagine what he can do for San Diego as your mayor.
Now, of course, that's the King family. Their daughter was murdered in 2010. Now, initially, wasn't this ad criticized for exploiting the family?
Well, it was accused of being exploitive, but again, when you run as a state assemblyman for another office, you have to run your record, and this was the big thing that Nathan Fletcher did in Sacramento. Careers have been made of much less in politics. The family volunteered to do the ad. They were not solicited to do it. And when we looked at the ad, we were surprised as to how highly we rated it, but we looked at our criteria. It was truthful. Not a thing that was said in there is not correct. It was fair. It was not emotionally aiming negative at a candidate. It was a genuine emotion from the family. It wasn't just something that was created for the event. And it was relevant. Nathan Fletcher made his reputation by working across the aisles, bipartisan on this bill. And that's something you would like to see in a mayor of San Diego. So that got an A from our panel.
It's interesting because a couple of times you say, you know, you're sort of surprised by the letter grade these ads are getting. Why? Why are you surprised by the letter grade?
Because we're looking at different component parts and we're trying to put it together. And as we talked through things and looked at things from different perspectives, some of us raised our scores, some of us lowered our scores. But then when you added it all up, it gave you an interesting cross-section, an average of what we were all looking at.
Now, let's take another one that got an A, because this is another interesting example of something getting a high grade, and maybe initially you think, really? So this is our third example, and this one got an A. Take a look.
San Diego needs real reform, but Bob Filner is an Obama Democrat. In Congress, Bob Filner voted with Democrats 90%.
Representative Bob Filner, thank you for your leadership.
We need a mayor with a local agenda, not an Obama Democrat agenda.
Pretty simple message. Bob Filner's a Democrat. What's the point of this ad?
Well, that's the interesting thing. The point is a little bit deceptive. I mean, the political strategy, this was put out by the DeMaio campaign to emphasize that Bob Filner is the Obama Democrat, the real Democrat, and that DeMaio is the real Republican, which leaves Nathan Fletcher out in the cold. And that's what the ad was aimed for. DeMaio's trying to manipulate the environment so he can face Filner in the fall. He feels Fletcher might be a more difficult candidate to defeat.
You gave this ad an A.
Everything in the ad, its tone, its tenure, it's fair. It pointed out Bob Filner's record. It's relevant to what he'll do because he will do all the things the ad said if he gets elected to be mayor. It's truthful. You know, it's just that the conclusion it's leading toward the viewers to now make, vote for DeMaio, well, that's also the purpose of the ad. But if you don't, Democrats will now say, yeah, vote for the Democrat, Bob Filner.
Well, it's interesting. Filner likes this ad, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, he has. He said, Carl, keep on running those ads. Now, if he is his opponent in the fall, you'll get very negative ads on that one. That was a generally positive ad, you know, talking about Bob Filner as an Obama Democrat.
I want to talk about something that's not so clear-cut. Now, you had ads that got C's or C pluses. Now, one that was in the news all weekend, this was an anti-Carl DeMaio ad that the San Diego Police Union, Police Association paid for, and it basically said, look, DeMaio voted against survivor benefits for the families of fallen officers. C plus, tell me why.
When we looked at the ad, it's truthful, but to an extent. One of the things we're trying to evaluate this from is from a reasonable viewer. How easy is it to find out what this was? And we had to go on the web, and it took a little while to track through to what budget line item this was. And this vote against widows and orphans was part of a package of votes. Now, would Carl DeMaio have voted against it on breakout if it was his own item? We don't know because it wasn't done that way. So it got dinked a little bit on truthfulness, got dinked a little bit on the relevancy, because it was really emphasizing this widows and orphans thing. He doesn't like puppies and kittens, and that's taking negativity to a little bit higher level, but it was still a C+. It wasn't as bad as the first ad we looked at, wasn't as good as the other ads.
Now, at the end of the day, the campaigns spend a lot of money on these ads. Do they have impact? Do they make a difference in terms of the outcome of the election?
They make a difference in a couple of ways. Negative ads tend to actually diminish voter turnout because people get turned off by the ads. And what you're trying to do with that is be sure your base shows up. They will have a swing with some of the independent or the voters who are undecided voters. A common misperception that independents are moderates. They can be very conservative, very liberal. They just don't like the party label. But studies have shown it might swing 0.5%, 1%, 2%, maybe. In a close election, that could be critical. For the most part, by this point, election day, most people have either figured out how they're going to vote or they're not going to vote.
So then why? Why invest so much money into these ads if it's not going to have a great impact in terms of the vote?
Why buy a 12th aircraft carrier when they already got 11? There's a whole industry that's behind this. Consultants want to get their ads out. They make more money the more ads you come out. The media likes the ads. And there's also a feeling that while it doesn't necessarily help, not having a media presence like Bonnie Dumanis without as many ads definitely hurts. So you've got to be in the game, but this gets you in the game. You've got to win it now by get out the vote effort. You have to win it by your direct solicitations and your phone calls. So that's why they do it. If you don't, you lose. But if you do, it doesn't mean you'll win.
Well, great, Carl Luna. Thank you so much for this. And I want to let the people at home know you're going to be back here Wednesday.
I'm looking forward to it.
And we're going to talk all about results.
We'll see what happens. I'm always more accurate in my predictions the day after.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tooth decay is one of the most common problems among children, and federal statistics show a small but significant increase among preschoolers. Dentists say it's not unusual to see young children with 10 or more cavities. KPBS health reporter Kenny Goldberg says that type of treatment often requires a trip to the hospital.
Rady Children's Hospital is the hub for pediatric surgery in San Diego County. It's also the place where young children with extensive tooth decay go for treatment. Instead of going to a dentist's office, they have to be treated in an operating room under general anesthesia. This 3-year-old child has 20 primary teeth. Each one of them has a cavity, and that's not all.
He's had some teeth extracted. We've done some crowns in the back of his mouth. We've done some crowns in the front on the bottom. We've tried to make it as aesthetic as possible. We've also done some space maintainers because under each of these primary teeth is a permanent tooth growing. So we're really concerned about the health of the permanent teeth.
And how old is the child?
He's 3.
Young children have trouble sitting in a dentist chair for any length of time. That's why this amount of work has to be done in an operating room. Last year, nearly 2,000 children were treated for tooth decay in one of Rady's operating rooms. 80% of them were 6 years old or younger. Dentists say our culture just isn't conducive to good dental health.
Our lifestyles are changing. We're on the run, 2 working parent families, less time to spend with kids. We're eating a diet that's much higher in sugar, and we're snacking more frequently.
But if kids lose their baby teeth anyway, why does it matter if they have cavities? Dr. Pocola says young children depend on these teeth to chew and eat. If they fall out early, kids can have speech and self-esteem issues.
And then if you lose baby teeth early, the adult teeth don't come in straight. Often you lose space, you have crowding, things that could really have been avoided by taking care of your baby teeth.
Tooth decay is preventable. Pocola says that prevention has to start early. She recommends kids visit a dentist by the time they're 1.
And that often raises eyebrows. But it's a very practical approach to initiating prevention early.
Finding dental care that's affordable can be challenging for many families. So can finding a dentist who's willing to treat preschoolers.
But nearly all parents bring their kids to see a pediatrician. That's why pediatricians are crucial to spreading the word about dental health.
As soon as those first teeth emerge, it's important to start wiping down the teeth with a washcloth and plain water, and then start using a toothbrush as early as possible.
Dr. Hartsfield says she brings up the subject with parents when their babies are 4 to 6 months old.
Most parents are very open. They appreciate the information, especially because most of us don't think about dental care until there's a problem or concern. And so basically addressing those issues for them early, trying to help with more preventative care, I think is well received by our patient population.
But giving people the right information doesn't necessarily mean they'll do the right thing.
What flavor do you want to smell for falling asleep, Suki?
Amber Sedlow's 3-year-old daughter Charlotte has 4 teeth that need to be drilled. That means it's time for the operating room.
Bye, Charlotte. Good luck. Really, I feel bad because I probably should have cared a little more. Just more than, okay, we'll brush your teeth, the twice a day.
Sedlow says she's learned her lesson.
No more apple juice. Okay, it's going to suck. She's going to have to drink water, but it is what it is. No more cavities. I don't want to go through this again. I don't. She's okay with it. Not Mom.
KPBS health reporter Kenny Goldberg. A recent UCLA survey says as of 2009, about 13% of San Diego County children had never seen a dentist. Tomorrow afternoon, San Diegans will get a last-in-a-lifetime chance to see a rare sight, the planet Venus passing in front of the sun. At least it'll look that way to us. Venus will actually be between the Earth and the sun. Astronomers call it the transit of Venus, and they say it's one of the rarest alignments of the planets. We won't be able to see another one for more than a century. The transit will start at 3:06 in the afternoon our time. It's not safe to look directly at the sun. You need special glasses or telescopes with special filters. There will be a viewing event tomorrow at Palomar College's new planetarium beginning at 2:30 in the afternoon, and the Reuben H. Fleet Science Center is hosting a viewing at 3.
Tonight in the public square, as we told you earlier, the controversial campaign ad that accuses Carl DeMaio of denying health care benefits to the families of fallen officers got a C+ from the Civility Project for Fairness and Truthfulness. We did our own fact check of that ad. Here's what we found. Before 2010, the families of officers killed in the line of duty received $8,800 a year from the city to buy health insurance. But in most cases, that doesn't cover the entire cost of insurance. The city agreed to cover the full cost of an HMO. That additional cost is what DeMaio voted against. So that part of the ad is true. Now, here's where it gets more complicated. The additional benefit wasn't the only item City Council was voting on. The survivor benefits was tied up with another item, a change in retiree health benefits that would save the city more than $700 million over the next 25 years. DeMaio says he never supported that deal because it didn't go far enough. And that's why he cast a no vote. He says he would have supported the survivor benefits if council had been asked to vote on it separately. Well, many of you have commented on this story already at kpbs.org. If you would like to weigh in, you can do so on our website. Or if Twitter is your thing, you can follow us or always like us on Facebook. And of course, you can email me, jfarian@kpbs.org. I love hearing from you. And if you get a chance, drop me a line tomorrow and let me know what it was like at the polls, or even send me a photo.
And you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks so much for joining us. You have a great night.